Okay, guys, welcome back to the Harbinger Breakdown. I'm your host, Jeremiah, and
I'm your other host, Kelcey.
And this week we're going to be talking about March Madness.
I thought he was going to start, but... So, March Madness, well, by the time you see this, it might be April, well, because it's April right now. So when you see it, might be like April 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, who knows. But March Madness, by the time you see it, might be over. We might have a champion. So, we're going to become prophets today and predict what's going to happen in the Final Four. But first, we have to recap what has happened so far. So, we took 3 main games that we want to highlight because March Madness is a lot of games, a lot of madness. So, we took 3 games that we want to talk about. And one of those games is BYU against Texas.
BYU against Texas.
What's BYU ranked?
I think they're like 7. Right?
They were hot, right?
Yeah.
3rd?
Pretty high.
6th. They were 6th.
6, right?
And Texas was 11th. Guess who won?
Texas.
The upset.
Texas won.
But mainly, what I want to talk about is how BYU failed AJ. I forgot her last name.
The Bencia, I think it is.
The Monster.
The Bencia.
The Monster.
AJ the Bencia.
The Monster. I think it's the Monster. It's DYBANSTA. The Monster.
Yes.
AJ, my GOAT. He dropped 35 points, I think like 11 rebounds, and his team still lost. They failed this man his freshman year. This was supposed to be the dream season for him, and they failed him. His teammates failed him. It's just a pure disgrace. But on the positive side, we have to shout out Texas,
They put in that work. Mm-hmm. I did not expect Texas to win. I really had AJ Bencia. He was the first. He's projected to be the first round draft in the NBA, and yeah, I really thought he was gonna pull out the win, but fortunately, Texas is better.
Oh, they aren't better. It's just that one day, AJ's teammates, didn't step up, didn't come to play.
Yeah.
But that's only one game. Now, let's talk about, since we're from Florida, talk about the Florida team, UF versus Iowa in this Sweet 16? Sweet 16.
Yes. So, Iowa was number 9, and Florida was number 1 ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what the score was? 73-72 Iowa.
And let me talk about this game real quick. Watch this game live from start to finish. As a huge Florida fan, I have a UM jacket, but ignore that. Not on me right now, but I have one. But I also have a Florida jacket too. I'm gonna wear it next podcast just for y'all. But I'm a huge Florida fan. Watch that game start to finish. I thought they had it in the bag. They started making a comeback, and then that final possession, man, where Iowa hit that game-winning 3. And really, in my opinion, it was a collapse on defense from the Florida standpoint. If you're up 2, you should not be pressing up full court. That really doesn't make sense. I'm not going to try to call out the coaching staff, but I am. You deserve to be fired. But Florida players, from the defending champion, the fact you don't even make the Elite 8 the next season, that's pretty disappointing, man. People are going to start calling you frauds. And that's just the way it is.
That's a good game. I agree with everything he just said. The one game that everyone, and I mean everyone, watched, UConn versus Duke.
We saved the best for last for y'all.
Saved the best for last. They put up, UConn pulled the greatest, and I mean greatest, they put the greatest comeback ever. 10 seconds left.
Ever is a big word.
In college history, in my opinion. 10 seconds left. Duke just has to hold the ball for 10 seconds and they win the game. They're up 1. They dribble down the court. They pass for no good reason. UConn intercepts the ball. They drive it down the court. Shoots a half-court shot. All net for the win. For the win.
Also, fun fact. Here's a fun little statistic. When the team is down by 15 points going to halftime, before that game, they lost 100%. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time a team was up by 15 points going to halftime, they won. The only exception, UConn versus Duke. Duke was up 15 points going to halftime. 15 plus points, I think, and still lost.
And the guy that took that shot, he was over 7 from 3.
Wait, what?
When he took that shot, yes. He had a very bad three-point percentage. He was over 7 from 3. And he took that final game. His team believed in him. He took that final shot, and he made it.
Man, he looked like me out there, bro. It's crazy.
Me, I had Duke because, I'm a Boozer Twins fan. They went to Columbus, is a Florida school. I'm a really good fan of the Boozer Twins, and they have a really good resume. They had All-Pro They had Gatorade Player of the Year twice. They had they won the national the Florida National Championships like 4 times. They're all their high school years, and then they went to win the NCAA tournament with Duke, and they get knocked out like that by UConn in an upset like that. It's crazy. I know I had them for the win, but it's sad to see them go. But I'm very, very excited for UConn. I'm very excited for UConn because they came in with drive, and they had the motivation to do that. It's amazing. I'm very excited for the Final Four.
And I just want to say this real quick.
Wow.
You know Duke, right?
Yeah.
Had so many great players ever to play.
Right.
The Boozer twins.
Yes.
Zion.
Yes.
Jason Tatum. Cooper Flag. Knuckle. Cooper Flag and Knuckle are the 2 top rookies in the NBA right now.
Yes, they are.
They had, that's how you just Jason Tatum did?
You did say Jason Tatum.
Who else they had?
You said Zion.
Jerry McCain.
They did have Jeremy.
Dude, you have so many great generational talents who have we seen so far are dominating the NBA, and you can get 1 championship out of it. When we think of Duke, we think of this big school. If you're a top athlete, go to Duke, you're gonna win. But what's the proof to show that? Duke, look in the mirror, please. Find out how to turn these stars good and to get a championship. My sister went to Duke, so I have to support you. But this is sad, truly sad, man.
On that note, we're going to be talking about who do we think is going to perform the best in the NBA from these college players.
So based on watching these March Madness games, these college games, we're going to make a prediction. Again, we're going to become prophets. And see which of these college stars are going to be the best in the NBA.
Yes. Me, like I said, I'm biased. Boozer twins. They're upcoming freshmen. They're freshmen in their college career, and they're doing all these great things, right? And they're twins. They're performing at this high level together. Both of them performing great, benefiting the team. And I think together, they will be great in the NBA. I would estimate around, like, first round, like, 10.
I'm
5
with
to
you.
10.
I don't think any of the Boozer twins is going to be a top 3 pick. And for the smaller one, what's his name? The point guard one. The one who had the turnover.
I don't know.
Kane?
Yeah, I think it's Kid.
Kane the loser? I'm keeping real with you. He might not be top 15. After that turnover, final play before you go in the NBA draft, being a turnover that leads to a game-winning shot. I don't know teams going to want that on their team. But who I think going to be top 3. Let me get my top 3. Darren Peterson.
Okay.
AJ Dabancia.
Yeah.
And Brandon Berries from Arizona. I'll put you on ball, but Berries, he's tough, yeah. Listen, if Berries become like the next Kyrie, Russell Westbrook, just don't be surprised.
Heard it here first. Kyrie is low-key pushing it.
Nah, I ain't pushing it. Kyrie Irving, the Wizard. That's gonna be Brandon Berries.
Right. AJ Dabancia, first, he was the #1 rated high school player, I believe. He's dominating college right now.
I come over Cooper Flag, but being real.
I do have him over Cooper Flag. And to see him, I'm so excited to see him in the NBA because he's going to be put up against Wemby, LeBron, Luka.
Oh, you think LeBron playing this season?
Better be. Luka, Luka Doncic, who else? And he's going to be playing against these great talents, and to see what he's going to do at this higher level is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. And now, to be prophets one last time, our prediction for the champion.
It's UConn versus who?
It's UConn versus... Go to the bracket right now.
For the bracket.
I got you with the bracket. The Final Four, we got UConn versus Illinois. And Arizona versus Michigan.
What's their seeds? UConn C2 versus Illinois C3. Who do you think's going to win that?
I got UConn.
I got UConn too.
For Arizona versus Michigan.
Arizona versus Michigan?
Who you got?
I look, you got Michigan.
I got Arizona. I tell you, Brandon Berries, he's tough.
Are you just saying that because Bryce is on the team?
Bryce not been playing, so shout out my boy Bryce though. But
low-key, Bryce James is low-key.
No, he's not. Bryce, listen, he redshirted for a reason. He's gonna learn under the greats. Next season, he averaging a solid 15 points. So championship, who you got?
I have, since you said Arizona, it's gonna be UConn versus Arizona.
Or it could be UConn versus Michigan.
UConn versus Michigan.
Who you got?
I see UConn putting up an upset. Because everyone thinks Michigan to win. I see you confident up in that.
I can see that.
I see
I
that.
told you. I had Arizona since day one.
Yeah.
And I got Arizona day 100 or day 3.
Right.
I got Arizona going all the way, winning the championship. Braden Berry's my goal. But you beg to differ. But I think that's enough for March Madness talk. So I'm right here first. Jeremiah got UConn. I got Arizona. Let's see who's right.
Tune back in when the championship is played, and we see who's right.
And that was the breakdown.
That is the Harbinger breakdown.
Harbinger breakdown.